Hey guys, so yesterday we started talking about and learning about multiplying 2 by 2-digit numbers using a partial product box. And yesterday you learned how to build a partial product box by decomposing and breaking apart our two factors and placing them outside of the box. And now remember, this is just one strategy you're learning on how to multiply numbers. So even after today, if you're still struggling understanding, next week you're going to learn another new strategy to help you. Okay, this is just one strategy we're learning. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about what's going to go inside, or how are we going to solve the problem from here. So again, you practiced decomposing these numbers yesterday and placing them around the box. And today we're going to talk about what exactly goes in each box and then how we are going to solve. All right, let's start with, we're going to look at these problems. Okay, we're going to start with 19 times 12, okay? Now, here is a picture of graph paper, which is like an area, and we can use that to make an area model. To make an area model of 19 times 12, we would count 19 rows and 12 columns and make one big area model like this. Okay, so 19 times 12. But we're not going to count all these little squares, so we're going to break down this problem into 4 different problems. So we can break the number 19 into 10, let me use a different color, 10, and 9. And when we do that, we then separate our box like that. And we can break the 12 into 10 and 12. And we separate our box like this. So we didn't change the area of this multiplication problem. We just broke it down into easier problems. Let's get that 2 over. Okay, so then let's talk about now, where do we go from here? Well, if this whole thing represents 19 times 12, then each piece represents a part of that problem. So this piece, for example, represents 10 times 10. 10 times 10, which is 100. This piece represents 9 times 10 because we have 9 rows and we still have 10 columns. So 9 times 10, which equals 90. And this column represents 2 times 10, which is 20. And this column represents 9 rows because there's still 9 rows, and 2, which is 18. And each of these are called a partial product because the answer to a multiplication problem is called the product. And each of these represents part of that product, so they are called partial products. Even when we do the standard algorithm, you will still have at least 2 partial products. And so what do you think we need to do with these partial products to find our final product? If you said add, you're correct. We would add 100 plus 20 plus 90 plus 18. Okay, which is 8. 2 plus 9 is 11, 12. 228. So 19 times 12 is 228. Okay, let's do another one. Let's go do 13 times 15. So again, we're going to draw. Use a different color. We're going to draw 13 times 15 on this model here. So that means I would do 13 rows and 15 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30, 15 columns. for 13 times 15. So again, we have 13 here and 15 here. But we're not going to go count all these little squares, so we need to break it down. So we're going to break the 13 down into 10 and 3. And we're going to break 15 down in expanded form into 10 and 5. Okay, and then we're going to solve for what goes in each box. So again, this box represents 10 times 10, so it's 100. This box represents 3 right here, 3 times 10, so it's 30. This box represents 10 times 5, so it is 50. And this last box represents 3 times 5, which is 15. And again, these are partial products. Okay, so we add them together to get our full product. So 100 plus 50 plus 30 plus 15. We add those together to get 195. So 13 times 15 is 195. Okay, the reason I'm showing you using an area model, I just want to show this is going to correlate to the box you're actually going to draw yourself. Okay, I'm just also trying to show you, we haven't, even though we have this on grid paper, we didn't sit here and count each little square. We used what we knew about multiplication and what we knew about our facts to find what goes in each box. So that means we should be able to draw this box ourselves without having all this grid information, okay? So we're going to do these last two problems. I'm not going to do them on the grid. I'm going to draw them out to the side and show you how you can still solve using this box without the grid. Okay, so let's do 18 times 16. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a box. And since we're not counting little bitty squares, the size doesn't matter as long as you can write inside of it. Okay, and we're going to take 18 and decompose it to 10 and 8. Then we're going to decompose 16 to 10 and 6. Okay, now we can talk about what goes in each box. So this box still represents 10 times 10, which is 100. This box still represents 8 times 10, which is 80. This box represents 10 times 6, which is 60. And this box represents 8 times 6, which is 48. Okay, and we are going to add all these together to get our product. So 100, we can do 160 in our head. So 160 plus 80 plus 48. The 8 down, 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 plus 4 is 18. Carry the 1, 288. So we still got our answer even though we didn't use the grid. We used the box. So it looks almost, oops. It looks almost just like using the grid except without all the grids in between. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how we can do this with numbers that aren't just tens. We're going to use 20s, 30s, 40s, all that. Okay, so I'm going to put a problem up here and we're going to build it just like we did yesterday. So 25 times 32. Okay, so first thing we do is we decompose these two numbers to build our box. So you draw a box. Okay, we're going to decompose 25 into 20 and 5. Then we decompose 32 to 30 and 2. Okay, now just like over here, this box represents 10 times 10. So what do you think this box represents in this problem? If you said 20 times 30, you're right. And now I know it's not as easy as 10 times 10, but we've been practicing multiplying using our basic facts. So here we're still going to use our basic facts to multiply. We're going to use 2 times 3, which is 6, and we just add 2 zeros. Okay, this box, so if this box represented 8 times 10 is 80, then this box is representing 5 times 30. And we're still using our basic facts. So 5 times 3 is 15, and we're going to add 1 0. This box is representing 20 times 2. So we start with 2 times 2 is 4, and we add 1 0. Okay, and this last box is always just going to be the basic fact. 5 times 2 is 10. And to solve for our full product, we take all these partial products and add them together. So I can add these in my head. I can do 640. I can add these two in my head, so that's 160 plus. So our answer is 800. 25 times 32 is 800. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's do 76 times 31. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw your box. Okay, decompose each of these factors. So 76, we decompose it to 76. 31, we decompose it to 31. Okay, let's talk about what goes in each box. So let's go back to the very first one, the easy one. This first box was 10 times 10. So this box is 70 times 30. And we're going to use our basic fact of 7 times 3 is 21. And we add 2 zeros. Now you're not always going to have to box in your basic fact. I'm just doing it to show you what we're multiplying. Eventually you should be able to do 70 times 30 in your head. If you know your basic fact of 7 and 3 times 3 is 21, and you just add 2 zeros. Okay, this box represents 6 times 30. So 6 times 30, 6 times 3 is 18. And we're only going to add 1 0 from that 30 because there's not any with the 6. This box is representing 70 times 1, which is easy. That's 70. And this box is representing 6 times 1, which is 6. So to get your answer, you're going to add all 4 of these together. 70. I can do 180 and 6 in my head, 186. $2,356. 76 times 31 is 2,356. Okay, I'm going to do one more with you before I let you go practice on your own. Let's do 67 times 49. So again, the first thing you do is draw your box and decompose your numbers. $67 and 49. Okay, this box represents 60 and times 40. So 6 times 4, which is 24, and we add 1, 2 zeros. This box represents 7 times 40, so we do 7 times 4, which is 28, and we add 1 0. This box is 60 times 9, so 6 times 9, 54, add a 0. This last box is our basic fact, 7 times 9, so it's 63. Okay? So now all I need to do is add all four of these partial products together to get our one product. So 2,400 plus 540 plus 280 plus 63. $3,283. Okay, now if you notice, we did the same steps on all the problems we did. We drew our box, we broke down our two numbers, and then we multiplied each number, like each part of the number. We multiplied the tens and the tens by the ones, this one's by the tens, and this one's by the ones. So 4 total multiplication problems. Okay, which even if you were doing the standard algorithm, you would still be doing 4 separate multiplication problems. Okay, this is just another way to represent it. So, and we also just added all our partial products at the end. So we did the same thing on each problem with different numbers. So when you're doing your work on your own, reference back to this video. Okay, so if you're having trouble with your own work, come back to this video and see how I did every single problem, because it's going to be the same process. You're just going to use different numbers. And if you have a multiplication chart to help here, that would be very helpful. Okay, so again, if you're having trouble, come back to this video and see how I did all these problems. All right, it's going to be the same process, just with different numbers. Okay. So now I'm going to go over your work. Okay, so as far as your work goes today, first thing you need to do is take a fact test. So our face-to-face learners have been taking fact tests on Fridays, and now y'all are going to start. So what you need to do is when you start, you need to time yourself. So either get a watch or a stopwatch, or have your parents time you. And when you start the test, from your first answer to when you finish it, time yourself and private comment how long it took you to take this test. This test is going to be over ×5. So if you want to study before, that'd be awesome. You can't use a multiplication chart or a calculator or anything to take this quiz. You're going to have to do it all on your own. And like I said, time yourself. Okay. Also, your independent work for today is you're going to complete these 4 problems on scratch paper using the area model and partial product box that I showed you in the video. Okay, so just on scratch paper, do those 5 problems the same way I showed you in the video. I know it's felt like a lot, but again, some of you may really grasp onto that strategy and it may be very quick and easy for you. And again, if you're still struggling with it, next week we're going to learn another one that may be for you. Okay, but this week I want you to try these 5 problems using the method I showed you in the video. Okay, and when you're done, take a picture and upload it to the assignment or attach it to the assignment. I'm also going to relink this YouTube video about area model multiplication, that if you want to rewatch it, you can. That will be helpful. But again, if you have any, as always, if you have any questions, just ask Mrs. Raisler or I, and we'll do our best to help you throughout the day. This is kind of a big concept that we learned in 4th grade, so I know it's kind of difficult, you being at home and hearing it through the computer. So just do the best that you can, and again, ask us for help. We'll be more than happy to help you through it as best as we can. So, all right, well, y'all have a great day, and y'all have a great weekend. Thanks. Bye.